There's a cemetery in Gray, Maine that has a headstone that belongs to no specific individual. The only thing that it could be determined at the time that the individual was buried beneath that headstone was that it was a victim of gunfire in the Civil War, and he happened to be a Confederate soldier. He winds up in Gray, Maine through accident, incompetence, something, but he's been there since October of 1862, and nobody knows who he is. And one of the things about the Civil War, particularly the early years, is there were people who could wind up being buried in places where their mothers, fathers, wives, sisters, cousins, nephews, friends were fearful that it was their loved one, but there was no way of knowing. And that's what happened here. It was supposed to be Charles Colley. Charles Colley was a man from Gray. He had volunteered in August of 1861 and had gone to the war front as a member of Company B of the 10th Maine Regiment. He had participated in the attack on Cedar Mountain. He was wounded in the thigh. He died of septicemia. He was poisoned by the bullet, and he died in the hospital 20 days after the battle, after he was wounded. His mother, still residing in Gray, was approached, and she agreed to pay the embalming fee and the transportation to get her son home, where he could be buried in Gray. Unfortunately, the body that was returned, when they opened the casket just to be sure, this is Charles, this is my son, and when they opened it, it was somebody in a Confederate uniform. They had no idea what to do. They had no way of knowing who it was. They had no idea where they could return the body. So in a meeting of the women of Gray, they decided that to honor this soldier, who certainly didn't want to die, and certainly probably didn't want to be buried in Gray, Maine, but this was where he was going to be buried. Happenstantially lies 100 feet from the Colley family plot in Gray, and this is where he would reside for eternity.
Thanks for watching. And don't miss a single episode as we delve into the fascinating history of Maine's role in the Civil War. Please like and subscribe now.